Look, don't act like you didn't just read the title. If you are looking to buy altcoins, and let's face it, that's everyone watching this video, and your altcoin doesn't have this one thing I'm going to show you today, you should look to sell it or not buy it immediately. Now, this is not financial advice, but mark my words, I've spent over 10,000 hours, probably sadly closer to 20,000 hours, over the last 4.5 years, not having a life, only to realize that this one thing, and trust me, I'm not exaggerating, defines the quality of a project. It is the difference between an AI coin 10xing and 100xing. It is one of those head-scratching things that you go, how do these two coins look so similar on the surface level, yet one does so much better? There is an answer, and the answer is going to be in this video. So pay very close attention. Strap yourselves in. You do not want to miss it. I know I said that quite a bit, but seriously, this is a very important topic. Now, hang on a second. Before we start, I've got to ask a simple favor. If you enjoy this video, lots of work goes into these. My whole day is spent creating these so that you guys are getting the best information possible. Hit that like button because that tells me you appreciate all I do for you around here. So thank you very much. And of course, while you're down there, hit the subscribe button because it makes me happy. Thank you. Now, what is this one very important thing? Actually, I think this thing is like one of the most crucial things that you can possibly look at in a cryptocurrency, and it's memes. Not these memes. I think we can all agree that these memes are memes, but they're not truly what a meme actually is. Meme comes from the word memetics, meaning something that's easily spread, something that is easily transferred from one person to the next, kind of like someone going down the street whistling a tune that you subconsciously, 5 minutes later, begin whistling yourself thinking, how the hell did I start whistling this? For those of you who can, of course, whistle. That's the meme. In the same respects, this is why many large projects are memes into themselves. What am I talking about here? Well, meme coins. This all spawns from what crypto is right now. Don't let anyone else confuse you. First and foremost, crypto is not a regular market, traditional market, none of that stuff. Crypto is a speculation market. This is proof. Meme coins are nothing more than a meme. A cool, importantly, relatable and easy to understand idea or some sort of cute image, right? Something relatable to you. This is what we have to look at in altcoins in general. No matter how utility heavy it is, no matter how focused it actually truly is on changing the world for the better, all these projects are memes. Even Bitcoin is a meme. The meme, of course, being that it is digital gold. That's easy for people to grasp. Something like Ethereum, while it's quite mimetic, you think about Bitcoin, digital gold, versus Ethereum, a layer one smart contract, decentralized platform. What one's more sexy? I mean, do I need to say more? Then you throw Doge in there. It's a funny cat. It's a funny dog, rather. Okay, so this is what we're talking about here. And so I won't spend too much time explaining that any further. I teach this in my Pumpermentals plan. Now, I know this works because other influencers are catching on to this as well. Literally, even in the exact same formats, like literally narrative, meme, popularity, and so on. So what we have to focus on, and again, I'm probably going to lose some of you, but please just hold tight for a second. Just do, without going to TikTok or picking up your phone and doing something, just strap yourselves in, all right? So we discussed a few videos ago about the narrative, right? This is where these projects are situated, right? So AI, deepen, gaming, modularity, these are different sectors of crypto that tend to arise at a given time together, fall together, and then a new narrative picks up, just kind of like people ebbing and flowing with the different sort of trendy topics of the bull run. Now, the meme itself actually is, again, the most important thing because you can find a project in a crappy narrative like IoT, VR, AR, right? Not very popular narratives of the bull run, but you can find a project that is like a really good meme that will still do well because it's very catchy, and at a given time, people want to just buy it because it's like, wow, look at this awesome idea. Like AR headsets in the real world that lets you, kill zombies to earn, like all this different stuff, right? So let me explain to you what the meme is, all right? So after the narrative, and maybe it might be best to show you with this example down here in a second. After the narrative magnet attracts a certain group of people or the whole market to a group of altcoins, people need to know where to park their money. What altcoin in AI or gaming am I going to buy? Which one? Which is the best? This is the wow factor, which of course is the meme in of itself, that separates it from its competitors. Why is Quant a better interoperability project than Chainlink? And it's got to be immediate. It has to be understood immediately. It can't be some technical jargon, some rubbish, black and white, 30 paragraphs long reason as to why. It's got to make immediate sense, right? So unique aspects that are easily understood. All you have to do, guys, don't overcomplicate this. All you have to do when finding an altcoin in an individual narrative like AI is find the one that immediately sticks out. So in order for this to happen, you got to do about 7 different things. This is all you have to really know for this video. And again, I'm going to show you proof here in a second with the likes of Solana, okay? Literally 77xing in the last cycle, or 78xing, versus another layer 1 project, Avalanche, only 25x. Oh, 25x, that's still, are you calling that bad? No, I'm not calling that bad, but what would you rather? 77x, 78x, or a 25x? You know what I'm saying? So this is the meme. This is the difference right here between the meme. Really great example. Just hold on tight because this is going to make sense momentarily. So again, the diagram here. You think about being a new person to crypto. You're in the market. What do? Well, you have money. You want to invest money. Okay. So what do you find? Okay, everyone's talking about AI or everyone's talking about meme coins. It doesn't take much to do that. You literally just have a look at whatever's trending up here. YouTubers start making videos all on real world assets. So you click real world assets. Which coin do I buy? Well, again, it's the one that is the most standoutish. It's the one that has the most unique aspect or meme. It's the most mimetic. So how do you find the most mimetic coin? Well, number one, assess the standard in the narrative. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be hearing this going to yourself, Kyron, I'm a passive crypto investor. I don't want to have to worry about finding the standard in a narrative. And I get it, right? None of us really do, apart from some of us psychos. So in this case, you don't really have to do that much. Maybe 20, 30 minutes of research, and you don't have to be a technical wizard to understand, for gaming, for example. Just do a little bit of like half an hour research, an hour of research, and go watch a few YouTube videos, check out some of the most popular, games in terms of their websites, and figure out what they're promoting. Normally the homepage, the first half of the homepage, the first few words and sentences that they'll use and some of those buzzwords typically are the standard. It's very simple to sort of do in that sense. And I'll show you an example here with Avalanche and Solana from the last cycle. So in this case, AI, right? Is there a certain amount of GPUs that most of these on average like to have? Is it 300, 200? Because if you see one that has 1,000, it's like, that's a standout project. Is it got a functioning marketplace to buy and rent GPU power for AI, for example? Layer 1, is it 100 nodes? Is the ecosystem got to be there and growing? Like, what is the sort of standard? You don't have to overthink it, just what's the roughly standard. Number 2, what is the prize in a narrative? So in this case, what are most of these projects competing for, right? So again, I'll show an example here with Avalanche and Layer 1 projects in the last cycle. But for AI, it might be like the most possible chips on the network. For Layer 1, it might be just pure speed. For Layer 2, cheap fees. Like, what are all these projects trying to compete for the best at? And again, very easy to understand. All you got to do is go to these website homepages, right? The first, paragraph or few paragraphs. What are they promoting? Go to a few of them. Avalanche, Solana. What's the first and most important things they're pushing? Go to Hedera HBAR. They change their website every 3 months and use different wording depending on what the most popular narrative is for their project. Gets the most eyes and attention. Number 3, here's where the meme really comes in, because we're obviously talking general narrative standard stuff now, but this is where we have a look at the coin itself. Does the coin meet the standard and is focusing on the prize? So again, is it meeting this, and is it highlighting, what it's better at than its competitors for the standard? Is it unique in any other way? So does it have actually anything that might be beneficial over the competitors? So does it have a really cool governance structure? Is there a big team, ICP, largest research and development team in crypto? These buzzwords attract people, and you don't have to get complicated. We're just looking for basic things to attract the everyday person, someone like possibly you who doesn't really understand that much. So you pretty much can be a mouse thinking like a mouse because we're trying to attract mouse. If you're someone with a little bit more experience in the crypto market, maybe 6, 12 months, or you're someone, who's interested in actually researching stuff, then yeah, you'd be a slight step ahead because you think like a cat, and you are a cat, but you've been the mouse before, if that makes sense. Also, number 5, easy for the average person to understand. 6, solving a Web3 issue or creating new products. So what you have to understand for this bull run is we're looking for projects that actually impact the Web3 atmosphere. Projects that are Web2, real-world focused, Quant, XLM, XRP, numerous others that have ties and that are really good ties to the traditional world aren't likely going to do as well as something that is creating a new product for Web3 like Ondo or is solving a problem in Web3, like the lack of communication between the different networks, the likes of Wormhole, Layer Zero, Pith, these sort of projects, okay? And number 7, are they marketing their unique properties? Simple stuff, right? That's, again, the homepage. Are they proposing what their unique aspects are? And, again, go to their Twitter. Are they actually promoting these things? It's, again, I know, I get it, right? It's a little bit of work, but if you're looking to buy a new coin or your coin doesn't have these, like I said here, it should still do well, but are you going to know your sell levels will be met? So here's the thing, right? This is where I get into some of the fun, crazy stuff that when you see this, you'll go, oh, this is actually very, very important, right? So a 5 to 10x from recent lows sounds about right on average for most of the coins in the whole crypto space, but it could be less depending on the narrative. So most coins in the 9, 10, 8, and 7 ranking narratives, so these narratives right here, right? See, most coins should do well. There will be a few coins that don't do well, but you'll have to kind of try to almost pick the bad coins, right? But we come to narratives like this, payments, Web2, Layer 1, social security, these sort of coins, that will be much harder to find the ones that actually end up hitting. Most of the coins will end up doing likely not as many multiples as you think. And this prime example is back over here with Avalanche versus Solana in the last cycle, right? Now, obviously, in this situation, you might pick a coin rather than 25xing, your coin might 5x, and you're hoping for 10 to 15x multiples. And okay, you might have positioned well in a coin and in a good narrative or so on, but because it lacks the meme and characteristics that support the meme, like I just explained to you, you end up missing out on actually picking a coin like Solana in this case. If your sell levels for Avalanche, right, were up here at these sort of multiple or percent gains, and it didn't do that, you're going to be holding your tokens forever, not selling, right? Whereas if you pick the right coin like Solana, you can hit those pretty well. Does that make sense? It does optimize, and never marry your bags, by the way, guys. It can be very, very easy to get caught up in the trap of, I bought this coin in AI first, like let's just say it's a ASI, for example, or Render. I'm just picking names here. And you're like, well, I did this research coin and I wasn't too happy with what the results were, so I'm not going to sell because I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope for the best. That ain't the best way to do it. Of course, this takes practice, so I'm not going to get you to do anything drastic. Of course, not financial advice based on what I'm telling you today. Practice at it, but it's definitely something to have in the back pocket as some sort of leverage, if you will, when you're researching and going to buy a new coin. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, Kyron, okay, this is pretty crazy, right? One's 77x, one's a 25x, whatever it is. What's the difference? Well, here's the crazy thing. So in the last cycle, these projects launched 6 months apart. So Solana was 6 months older than Avalanche over here. So pretty much the same time, both in the same narrative. So they're both expected to pump at the same time, which they did. They pumped over here together, right? If we just draw a line down, look at this, exactly together. So they were Web3 Layer 1, they pumped at the same time in the same narrative, which you can see here. They pumped within 2-3 weeks of each other, their all-time highs. So why is such a large difference in terms of overall gains? So if we look into it, okay, the meme is pretty much the power of the pump. It's the velocity. It's how, if a coin is, kind of brought into attention from things like news and announcements, or again, hype around the narrative, and it pumps at a given time, depending how high and hard it pumps, goes back into the meme. If the meme is bad, it's not going to pump as high. If the meme, all this stuff here, is really good, it'll pump very high. And that was ultimately the difference between Avalanche. This was Avalanche's website at that time, okay, versus Solana. This is Solana's website from the time. Now, mind you, both look horrible, right? They're very, very badly designed websites, or at least okay websites, right? But they focused on different things that allowed Solana to ultimately become the more appealing product. So if I kind of zoom in here again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I will just quickly go over this again. So meme, unique selling point. So it has to be unique, okay, amongst other competitors. So Solana versus Avalanche, what makes Solana unique and people want to buy it? Again, has to be easy to understand for that to happen. So propagation. It has to be up to standard. So technically wise, it has to, or at least perceived to be. Most of this industry, unfortunately, is just vaporware, meaning it's just a little of nothing. It's just promises. But at least promise, it's up to standard. It has to, again, ideally be solving a Web3 problem, okay, ideally, or creating a new product. Now, it has to also have somewhat community strength because it won't grow without evangelists. Marketing strength has to be pushing itself. If the social media is crap, doesn't matter how good this stuff is, it's not going to do well. And the tokenomics and team can also play a role. I'm not going to really introduce this too much today, but basically all you have to understand is if the tokenomics or the team are just simply average, it's fine. Leave it alone. If it's bad, it will affect the overall meme because then the product itself, the project becomes less interesting. And if it's good, it can actually play into the meme itself. It can actually be a reason people want to buy it over its competitors, okay? So needless to say, all the meme does is help push it up in a situation where, hey, maybe like Cardano over here, there's a new upgrade and everyone starts buzzing about Cardano. Well, more money will come into it at a given time if it's more attractive, okay? So, like I said, why are there such large differences in performance between these two coins? The meme for layer 1 altcoins at that time was, can you guess it? Speed. Simply speed. If you can identify what the sort of standout and most appealing aspect of a narrative is, if a project focuses on that part of its meme, it's going to do well. So as you can see here, Avalanche did a pretty decent job of marketing, blazingly fast, low cost, and eco-friendly. If you're around in the last cycle, everyone was trying to look for the fastest layer 1 project, right? And on here, they've got a few, pretty boring stats for the most part. I think most people find this quite boring. I like this. But you scroll down here, the TPS was 4,500. They compare it to slower chains, of course. And then it comes to Solana. Solana is much faster block time, very, very fast transactions. And if you scroll down, some of the stuff isn't, showing because it's a snapshot of the old website. They have on here somewhere 50,000 TPS. It's not going to show now, of course, here. Up to 50,000 TPS. That was an actual big buzz, I remember clearly in the last cycle. So you got to identify what that actually is, and does that project really push that out marketing-wise, and do they boast about it, essentially? It has to be easy as well. You're not going to find that doing well. Like if speed was like, let's say, account abstraction. What is account abstraction? Most people don't even know what that really means. So it has to be something that can be easily understood for the most part. If it's not, chances are you're not looking at the unique aspect. It's something else, or simply the project's just not appealing. It won't be appealing, simple as that. So ultimately, fast TPS and fast finality, right? So this thing over here, and the low transaction speed, ultimately, bottom line, means the faster the better. The faster and cheaper the better. Solana destroyed the competition. That back then was unheard of. 50,000 TPS was monstrous, okay? So this is one of the reasons why it came out victorious. I want to highlight one. Of course, it was also pushed by SBS, so Sam Bankman-Fried and others, and, came back into marketing. There was a few other things that go into it as well, like I mentioned before in those 7 different steps, but ultimately the meme wins. If someone wants to try to argue with me on that, absolutely, let's talk it out, because again, from all my research, this is what I ultimately come back down to. The coins that do well aren't doing well because any sort of metrics are growing. Metrics are a thing of the past, right? We need to look into the future. What makes it appealing? And in a speculation market, this is the reason why meme coins do so well. Meme coins are a narrative to begin with because it's a speculation market. So guys, as you can tell, I'm quite passionate about this because this is very rare to find in the market, right? Even traditional markets to some degree fall somewhat into the meme. A meme, the cool idea, the brand, the image of something. They want to fall in love with the ethos. That's what we're trying to do here, except for digital products, if you will. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. And if you have, hit that like button, help support all I do around here. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take good care. Bye-bye.